Okay, so let's talk about how to run a correlation in Jasper. And the first thing I want to point out is when I fold my data over from a CSV file, I want to first ensure that my data are set out appropriately, and so test scores came over as numbers, but you can see that study hours came over as a nominal data. That's what this Venn diagram means. So we want to change this to ensure that we can do the proper analysis. So you click on that Venn diagram and change it to scale. So again, as we did with t-test or ANOVA, you have to make sure your data are properly labeled so that you can do the appropriate test, otherwise you won't be able to do what you need to do. So now we have both of these numbers, and that's really the essence behind a correlation, is that we're correlating to numbers we no longer we have condition. And so the first thing we're going to do is to run a correlation, is click on regression, and that may not make sense at the forefront because you're thinking, well, we're learning correlation, why would we click on something called regression? But as we move forward with the lecture, you're gonna find out the correlation and regression are really, they go hand in hand, they really are synonymous. It's kind of like ANOVA and FOST, they really have to be done together, but I have to teach you one piece at a time. So let me teach you the correlation piece, but then once we learn regression, you're gonna see, whoa, they really do go hand in hand. So we're going to click on regression, and then I'm going to click on correlation matrix. Now, matrix of the Nickel movie is really a table of values, kind of like a multiplication table. If you can remember when you were a kid and you had a multiplication table where you went 0 1 2 3 4 across the top, and then 0 1 2 3 4 down the side, and then you kind of pair them up. That's what we're building here with our correlation matrix. Now we only have two variables, so the matrix is going to be quite simple. But if we had a list of say 20 variables, we'd have 20 variables listed across the top of the table and 20 variables listed across the side, and then we would be able to pair each of them up. So this is a table of all paired comparisons, and then again this one will be quite simple because we only have the two variables, but in many studies we'll have multiple variables that we might have here. So we're going to put our two variables over here to be correlated in this inbox. Now I want to explain what the results are indicating to you. So as with the table, with the multiplication table, if you can remember back in the day when it was 0 1 2 3 4 and then 0 1 0 1 2 3 4, there was repeated values, right? So we had one times one up here, and then we might have had one times one on the side, and so here it's kind of like multiplying. We are saying study hours related to the two test scores. This is study hours, and we connect it to test score, and this is blank. This is because we have test score related to study hours. You see how that will be a repeated number. So rather than confusing people by having the same numbers represented twice, they leave it blank. So it doesn't matter whether it's study and then test score first or test score and study first, right? So here's really the only values that we're really interested in this comparing test score and study hours here. So in our lecture we learn about calculating the person's R, and this is our person R calculation. It's 0.7. So this is kind of our statistical calculation here, like when we had a T calculated or F calculated. This would be the same kind of concept. Here we have our percents are calculated, and then we also have the V value for our percents. Our now V value is interpreted the same way here as that it is a significant relationship. So what we now know is that study hours is significantly related to test score, and it is a positive relationship because it is a positive 0.707. If it had been negative 0.707, it would have been a negative relationship. So we can interpret this positive relationship to say that the more hours someone studies predicts higher test scores. Okay, So now we're going to put this all back into a bigger picture, and you'll see how we can make regression do even more informative pieces for us, so we can really start to say how many hours do I need to study to get the different kinds of test scores I think I would like. Okay guys, so thank you, see you.